Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wisconsin Greg Show. Just thought I'd get on here and tell you what I've been doing. I haven't been on here and really told anybody or talked to anybody or about what's been going on in my life a little bit recently, and I guess the best way to describe it, I've been packing my old noggin full of knowledge. I've been doing lots of studying and stuff the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks like that. As some of you know, quite a long time ago, before all this stuff came around the world, that's keeping everybody at home and stuff, and stuff that before that all happened, I went and took a written test for my CDL to get to drive a school bus. But then I passed the written test, and then I was supposed to go do the driving test, and then or practice or learning and stuff, the driving, and then eventually go do the driving test. And then there's like a pre-trip test you got to take, and then I don't know what you'd really call it. It's actually how you can control your bus. You're driving in between cones and stuff like that. You got to do that. It's a 3-part test, and that part I never got to because schools closed and kind of all got put on hold. Then they're planning on starting up the schools again now, and so they told me to come in, and they taught me how to do the driving and stuff, and I went and did the driving test and did the pre-trip inspection and all the backing and all that stuff, and passed everything, all the written tests and the driving tests. I passed the first time. I thought for sure I'd have to go back and redo some. Let me tell you, that was probably one of the most stressful times in my life. I was pretty nervous because there's a lot of stuff to remember. I have a lot of respect for truck drivers after getting my CDL now. I never realized how much was involved. If you don't know, like the pre-trip inspections, you got to learn how to do them. And it's not just like walking around the bus just taking a quick peek. It's like you got to point and describe what each part of the bus is, from the top down all the way around. You gotta look underneath it, point at the stuff, and show what it is. And it's quite complex. A lot of stuff to remember, and I mean every little piece. I mean, you're talking the clearance lights, the red and amber warning lights, and getting anything that you can touch. If it's too high, you don't have to touch it, but anything lower, you got to touch it with your finger and show it to the instructor so that he knows that you know what you're talking about. And it goes under the bus, around the bus, then you end up going inside the bus, and you got to go through all the switches, and it's quite complex. I never realized what truck drivers and bus drivers and anybody with a CDL had to go through. A lot to learn. It was a good experience. I'm glad I did it. It certainly is going to make me a better driver, safer driver, I can tell you that. I stay out of the way of truck drivers now because I never realized, especially like a bus driver, how much tail swing there is in those things. There's like 10 feet sticking out over the rear tires, and when you're turning a corner, you really got to pay attention in your mirrors. You got to watch all your mirrors and make sure you're not going to swing and hit them, because you can end up hitting somebody in the next lane. It's a lot different driving than I expected. Another thing I found kind of weird is when you're turning, since you're watching your tail swing so much, you have to go further ahead and stuff, and you think you're going to hit the curb, but it's kind of weird on a bus. The tires are sitting inside compared to like a vehicle, a car or a truck. So you can actually go over the curb with your body, the bus and stuff, without touching the curb with your tires. It's kind of weird. So I've learned a lot. And then in my spare time, I ended up buying these 2 books to learn more about art. As you know, I'm trying to get better at my art skills. I like art. I've always liked art, just never pursued it, never had the time. Now I got the time, and I'm trying to learn it. There's a lot of stuff to learn in art, I can tell you that too. I don't think anybody ever learns it all. There's so much you can just advance your skills so far in art. It's unbelievable. I ended up buying 2 books, and I wanted to share them with you. I'll show. I brought them with me just so I could show you. This one here is Fill Your Oil Paintings with Light and Color. These are all both basically on oil paintings, but a lot of it refers to other types of paintings also. And then you can see the author's name is Kevin D. McPherson. And let me tell you, that's a really good book. I'm almost finished with that one. And I got another book by him too. It's also made by the same author, and it's called Landscape Painting Inside and Out. And I've just kind of started a little bit on this one, but I can tell you right off the bat, they're both really good books. So if you're into oil painting, I'd highly recommend them books. They're really, really good. He breaks down the steps and shows you step by step how he does it, and shows a lot of his paintings and stuff and what he did at the spur of the moments and stuff, and what worked and what didn't work. And just a very, very good book. He explains things very well, so I'd highly recommend them if you're into any type of oil painting. Even if you're not, if you're just into acrylic painting, they're pretty good. But a lot of the stuff more refers to oil painting, but it'll give you the basics, and it's really good. And then I brought that up because about a week and a half ago, or not a week, maybe a week ago, I don't know, time flies by so quick. I came here where I'm parked right now, and I set up my French easel right over here in the park on the right side of my truck here, and painted this house to the left of me. I thought it was kind of a cute house, and I thought it would be kind of a challenge. It didn't look like it was anybody in there. It's got like a washer and looks like a wash machine or something, or dryer sitting in front of the window, and I haven't seen nobody around it at all. I think maybe it's been sold, or somebody just moving in, or a new renter's coming in or something, but I haven't seen no people around it. So I just sat up here and paint. Nobody bothered me, and I'm in the park anyways, so and there's no shades. It's like it's abandoned, like there's nobody in there. So I painted it, and I'll turn the camera around here and show you. It's kind of a challenge drawing. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes to draw. I just didn't do no tracing or anything, all right out here in the park in the open. They call it plein air painting, and just use my brush as a guide. Just hold the brush out like a stick and move it, hold it up like that, and then measure each spot of the building, and then I transfer that onto my canvas. And I'll show you right now. I'll cut into where I did the sketching. I'll just post a picture in there, and that took me about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm very amateur at it. This is actually the first house that I've drawn or painted, I think, as far as I can remember, from being out in the live open air. So I'm gonna turn this towards the house, but right now I'll show you the sketch that I drew. I'll just post a picture in there. I'll do that right now. So this is the house. I'm sitting in my truck, so I can't really give you a real good. You're gonna have a little bit of my truck on the left side showing, but as you can see, the roof lines are kind of hard to draw, and then you got the porch in the front. I did end up leaving the front railings off. I just figured it was getting too busy up there in my painting, and I wanted the people to focus on the house, not just that one part of the house. I want them to focus on the whole house. Right now I'll cut right in and I'll show you the painting that I did. I did crop it a little bit, so I chopped my name off of it and stuff, so it is actually just a little bit bigger than what you're seeing. But there goes the truck by. But so I'll put my oil painting in here right now so you can take a look at it. And here, I'll do that right now. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, but I needed a lot of practice with shadows, how to do shadows and stuff, and I've actually learned a lot since I've done that painting, so I think the next one will be better. I just got to keep doing it. I kind of like this area right here. This is the park I was in right across the street. There's a lot of other things I'd like to paint. There's actually a church right to the left of me. I'll probably end up painting that someday. And then there's another a gas station and an ice cream store to the other end of the park behind me here. And I thought the ice cream store would be pretty cool to paint, even the gas station someday. Gas station's a little bit more complex, maybe when I get a little bit more experience. But also in the park there's lots of little hosta flowers, and the trees are pretty cool. So there's plenty to paint here, and I like it here because it's not real crowded, and people didn't bother me here. I didn't get bothered and spent my time. And so I'll probably be back here to do some more paintings. I'll take this camera off here and I'll show you the church right across from me on my left side of me. I thought this would make a good painting someday. Probably end up doing this someday for practice. But anyways, I've been learning a lot, let me tell you, during this time when you know, you can't do a whole lot of other things. There's one big disappointment around the area was the county fair. They're not going to have that, and we were like, it was like one of the last fairs to announce it. So that was kind of disappointing to hear that, because I think everybody was just hoping that at least one thing would be open that we could all do during the summer, and that ended up getting canceled too. So pretty disappointing. It's pretty sad, but that's the way it goes. So anyways, I had to come to town. I was cleaning my windows so I could talk to you guys in the truck while I was driving a little bit. And when I put the wiper blade back down on the windshield, it broke. I haven't put wiper blades on since the last time I made a video on how to install them. I don't know, that's probably been 1.5 years, 2 years now. So they're due anyways, so I put some new wiper blades on. I came to town and I picked up a couple new ones. So I gotta go home and do that, throw them on there. So that's one less thing I'll have to do before winter time. I'm gonna drive around a little bit. I'm gonna drive by where I store my corn. I did a video on that, and I'll actually leave that video down in the links too. It'll be pretty much the same as what I'm doing today. I'm just gonna drive by where I haul my corn in, or where it's hauled in for me. I used to haul it in myself, but now I have a guy that hauls it. He combines it and hauls it in with semis. Some of you might not know. I guess I should mention that I do have a small farm. I have 80 acres of crops, 40 acres of field corn, and 40 acres of soybeans. No sweet corn. It's all just field corn. And the crops are doing excellent this year, but it's pretty kind of on the dry side a little bit right now. We did get about 0.2 of an inch about 3 days ago, but it was really getting dry then, and that 0.2 of an inch is pretty much gone already. So hopefully we get some more rain quick again, but it's doing really good. Like I showed you in another video, the corn's about 9 foot tall, and the soybeans have grown since the last video I did. They're all pretty right around waist height. They're pretty tall, so they're doing great. Everything's looking good crop wise so far, as long as we keep getting them showers or rain. But anyways, I'm gonna put you on pause here for a little bit, and I'm gonna drive just by where I haul the crops in and show you where I haul my crops into, or where they go. And I'll start this back up when I get over by there. Well, that right there on the left, all those grain bins, that's where I have my corn hauled into. That's part of it. There's another little section that's back further, near closer to the railroad tracks, where they loaded on the railroad cars and stuff, and I'll show you that too. They may not look so big from the camera, but let me tell you, those grain bins are huge when you get up next to them. On the left there, with the orange things on them, the fans, those are the grain dryers. That's where they dry the moisture out of them, out of the grains. Use propane gas. I'm pretty sure that's what they use. Down here is the other section I was talking to you about. The grain bins, that's where they load it up, and I think ends up, I believe, going down towards Chicago. I may be wrong on that. Turn around here. Right there is where you drive in, and then there's a grates on the ground, and you open up and the grain comes out of your semi or your truck, goes down, and then it's augured or over into the bins. So anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick peek while I was in the area, show you this area where it is, and there's a big thing on the right here. It looks kind of like a skating rink, and that's where they fill that up with corn, and then it ends up getting a tarp over it, so they got more storage, kind of a temporary storage. Place is called Elburn. It used to originally be called Badger Grain, but then Elburn bought them out, and it's called Elburn. A lot of people still call it Badger Grain, I think. But anyways, I'm gonna probably wrap this little video up. I probably yacked long enough, driving you guys crazy out there, and hope you enjoyed the little chat and little ride around, and just want to let you know what I've been up to, learning a lot of stuff, and hopefully I can put it to some good use. The way it's going right now, it looks like a lot of the schools are going virtual for the first semester and seeing what's going to happen, so I may not be driving for some time, but that's okay. I ain't no rush. I'm just doing it for a few hours in the afternoon. They've already asked me if I want to do more hours, like in the morning. I'm not really a morning person, but I may end up doing a few more hours in the afternoon eventually. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you go, and we'll catch you on the next Wisconsin Craig video. See y'all later. Bye now.